Perhaps there are some names that transcend times. After all, the connection to the many, what is that word? Timelines are very much intertwining. The Angry fan that is very pure, even though I only reviewed a 0 and that it's going to be one of the last I do. This is chapter 259 of it all. First off, our detailing chapter details where everyone is. Homura is fighting, is fighting, or at least going to fight God Aknoela. Together with Valkyrie is fighting Brigade in space. Killer is, somewhere in the middle of the Eden's 1 and Eden's 0, getting a bomb together where Hermito Wise Witch is facing off against Wizard, and the sister is taking care of Pino, and the destination is set at 10 minutes, and while Shiki intends to board the Eden's 1. Gotta say, that picture of them all with small heads is kinda adorable looking. Hermit wonders how there could be a self-destruction of it all. Moreover than that, Witch actually asks Wizard why is he on the ship if it's going to be destroyed? Because his only purpose is to kill Witch. Once again a very cruel fate of it all, especially since we recently learned that the dark stars are connected to the shining stars. And since Wizard is basically Witch's anterior, it makes sense for him to say those are my only instructions. But then things takes a little bit more of a darker turn, as it turns out that Clown has also infiltrated the 0. But the thing is, Clown actually remembers the previous world. And why does he do that? Well, you have to remember he was the only Dark Star they took prisoner. So when the Eden 0 from the previous world traveled to the 0 universe, he was there too. So it only makes sense he would actually be the only one to remember everything. That actually may also imply that he is the one who told Eden's 1 everything that was going to happen, or at least happened in the previous world, which made Eden's 1 make many more drastic changes in order to, change that destiny, so to speak. And he then unleashes poisonous gas, something like anti-android hyaline poison, because he says this is he's not here to fight her sister at least. He's here to make sure that they're dead. Although it's worth noting why he is not affected by the poison of it all. And things get turned from more despair. But of course Clown wonders why isn't Happy affected? And that is because, as we know, Happy is not a robot in Zero Universe. But Happy can't do anything against Clown. But Shiki manages to get inside Eden's 1, and it turns out the skeleton army is still here. Which makes sense. I mean, 1 do still have the Mobius. Although this time they seem to have guns. Shiki makes quick work of all of them, but then suddenly one single skeleton army goon rises up and saying that he cannot believe he boarded the ship. Lightning breaks the thing apart, as the one revealing to control them is none other than one of the new Oration Sese, Lightning Law, and true to his name, he can control lightning. He basically looks like a handsome young man with the lines of an android and, I want to say, religious-like clothing. So, and he arrogantly says this is the final destination. Shiki facing off against Lightning Law is something I didn't really want to happen, because, as I said before, I had matches of every single one to face. But now, that is getting all out of the window. And even if Lightning Law is just a one-shot pony, that is fine with me, even though it's gonna be a little bit dull. But then chapter ends as we once again goes back 2,000 years. Back when Ivory was visited by a regret. And here is something pretty interesting, so to speak. As Lightning Law says before, this will be a final destination, Shiki Grambel. The word Shiki keeps repeating 20,000 years ago by none other than E. Ivory, who says she doesn't really know why that name is stuck on her head. She believes because he is sick, she keeps repeating words that pop into the head that doesn't make sense. But Regret wonders if it's someone's name. Ivory, of course, says it's maybe not something important, but Regret only smiles, says, no, it's a good name, Shiki. Once again connecting the four shining stars to Shiki. As we all know, Shiki was also Siggy in a distant future. And as far as we know, he may have been the one who modified them. But it's also very possible that Eden's One is the one who modified the Shining and the Dark Stars, but Siggy could only liberate the Shinings. More than that, why do Shiki's name travel so many times in the past to this destination? That is still not answered. But we're still not exactly getting deep flashbacks on the Shining Star's true future. But what we are seeing is more despair. Give me your thoughts if you have any.